A seismic shift: China dumps U.S. Treasury bonds. In a move that has sent shockwaves through global markets, China has begun to significantly reduce its holdings of U.S. Treasury bonds. This decision has not only caught the attention of financial analysts but also policymakers around the world. This decision, unprecedented in its scale and speed, signals a potential turning point in the financial relationship between the world's two largest economies. The ramifications of this move could be profound, affecting various sectors and economies globally. The implications of this move are far-reaching, potentially impacting everything from interest rates to the value of the US dollar. Financial markets are already reacting, with volatility expected to increase as investors reassess their strategies. For decades, China has been a major buyer of US debt, using its massive trade surpluses to purchase trillions of dollars in Treasury bonds. This strategy has been a cornerstone of China's financial policy, helping to stabilize its own economy while supporting the U.S. financial system. This dynamic helped to finance America's large current account deficits and keep interest rates low. The symbiotic relationship between the two nations has been a key factor in global economic stability. However, this mutually beneficial arrangement now appears to be unraveling. The reduction in U.S. Treasury holdings by China could signify a shift in global economic power dynamics. The decision by Beijing to reduce its exposure to U.S. debt is a clear signal of its growing dissatisfaction with Washington. This move could be seen as a response to ongoing trade tensions and geopolitical disagreements. It is also a sign of China's growing confidence in its own currency and its desire to play a more assertive role on the global stage. By reducing its reliance on U.S. debt, China is positioning itself as a more independent and influential economic power. This dramatic shift in China's investment strategy has left many analysts scrambling to understand its implications. The financial world is abuzz with speculation about the potential long-term effects of this move. Is this a temporary tactical move or a sign of a deeper strategic shift? Analysts are divided, with some viewing it as a short-term maneuver while others see it as part of a broader strategy to reshape global financial markets. And what does it mean for the future of the global economy? The answers to these questions will unfold in the coming months and years as the world watches closely to see how this financial drama plays out. A relationship built on debt, trust, and mutual economic interests. China's long history with U.S. Treasuries is a tale of economic interdependence. To understand the significance of China's recent move, it's essential to delve into the historical context and the evolution of this financial relationship. China's accumulation of U.S. Treasury bonds began in earnest in the early 2000s, marking a new era in global finance. This period coincided with China's rapid economic growth, fueled by its integration into the global trading system and its burgeoning manufacturing sector. As Chinese exports surged, so too did its trade surplus with the United States, creating a significant flow of dollars into China. China recycled these dollars earned from exports back into U.S. Treasury bonds, effectively lending money to the U.S. government. This dynamic created a symbiotic, albeit imbalanced, relationship where both nations found benefits and faced risks. China benefited from a large and liquid market for its foreign exchange reserves, ensuring stability in returns. The U.S., in turn, enjoyed low interest rates, which fueled consumption, economic growth, and a booming housing market. This arrangement, however, was not without its critics, who pointed out the potential vulnerabilities. Some argued that it gave China too much leverage over the U.S. economy, potentially influencing American financial policies. Others warned that it was unsustainable in the long run, as economic imbalances could lead to financial instability. These concerns, once largely confined to academic circles, are now taking center stage as the global economic landscape continues to evolve and new challenges emerge. The breaking point: why China is divesting now. This significant shift in strategy has caught the attention of economists and policymakers around the world. Several factors have converged to push China to reduce its exposure to U.S. debt. This move is not just a financial decision but a strategic one, influenced by a complex web of economic and political considerations. Chief among these is the escalating geopolitical rivalry between the two superpowers. The relationship between China and the U.S. has become increasingly strained, with both nations vying for global influence. Trade tensions, technological competition, and disputes over Taiwan and the South China Sea have all contributed to a souring of relations. These issues have created an environment of uncertainty and mistrust. China's leaders are increasingly wary of the weaponization of the US dollar. They are concerned about the potential for the US to use its financial dominance as a tool of coercion. They have witnessed how the US has used its control over the global financial system to impose sanctions on countries like Russia and Iran. This has made China cautious about its own financial vulnerabilities. In addition to geopolitical concerns, economic considerations are also at play. China's economic landscape is evolving, and its priorities are shifting accordingly. The Chinese economy is no longer growing at the breakneck pace it once did. Slower growth means that China must be more strategic in its financial decisions. As a result, China has less need to accumulate foreign exchange reserves. This shift allows China to reallocate its resources more efficiently. Moreover, China is seeking to internationalize its own currency, the renminbi. This is a long-term goal that requires reducing dependence on the US dollar. Reducing its reliance on the US dollar is a key step in this process. By diversifying its currency holdings, China aims to create a more stable and resilient financial system.
The initial reaction to China's divestment has been one of cautious concern. Financial analysts are closely monitoring the situation, trying to gauge the potential impact on global markets. Some experts believe that China's move could lead to higher interest rates in the United States. This is because, with less demand for US Treasury bonds, the US government may have to offer higher interest rates to attract buyers. Higher interest rates could potentially slow down the US economy.
Others, however, argue that the impact on interest rates will be minimal. They point out that other countries, such as Japan, still hold large amounts of US debt and could potentially step in to fill the void left by China.
The world watches closely as the financial landscape shifts, uncertain of what the future holds.
The full ramifications of China's decision remain to be seen. Section 5. A new financial landscape, potential impacts of China's divestment.
However, it is clear that this move has the potential to reshape the global financial landscape.
As China reduces its holdings of US Treasury bonds, it is effectively selling dollars and buying other currencies. One potential impact is a weakening of the US dollar.
This could lead to a decline in the value of the dollar relative to other major currencies.
A weaker dollar could make US exports more competitive, but could also lead to higher inflation.
Another potential impact is a shift in global financial alliances.
As China seeks to reduce its reliance on the US dollar, it is likely to strengthen its ties with other countries that share its desire for a more multipolar financial system.
Section 6. The U.S. response. Navigating the shifting sands. The Biden administration is closely monitoring China's moves in the Treasury market. The White House has acknowledged the potential risks posed by China's divestment, but has downplayed its significance.
The U.S. Treasury Department has emphasized the depth and liquidity of the U.S. Treasury market, arguing that it can easily absorb the sale of Chinese holdings. However, behind the scenes, there is growing concern within the administration.
The U.S. is already facing a challenging economic environment, with rising inflation and interest rates. A significant decline in the value of the dollar or a spike in interest rates could further complicate the Federal Reserve's efforts to manage the economy.
Section 7. The bigger picture: China's strategic chess game. China's decision to reduce its holdings of U.S. Treasury bonds is not merely an economic move, it is a strategic one. It is part of a broader effort by China to challenge U.S. hegemony and reshape the global order.
By reducing its exposure to the U.S. dollar, China is chipping away at the foundation of U.S. financial power. At the same time, China is promoting the use of its own currency, the renminbi, in international trade and finance.
China's ultimate goal is to create a more multipolar world, one in which the United States is no longer the sole superpower. China's divestment from U.S. Treasury bonds is a significant step in that direction.
Section 8. A new era of uncertainty, global implications. China's decision to divest from U.S. Treasury bonds marks a new era of uncertainty in the global economy. The long-standing financial relationship between the United States and China, which has underpinned global growth for decades, is now in flux. The implications of this shift are far-reaching and potentially destabilizing. The world is entering uncharted territory, and the rules of the game are changing. This new era will require careful navigation by policymakers and investors alike. It is an era defined by both risks and opportunities. How these risks and opportunities are managed will determine the shape of the global economy for years to come. Section 9. Stay tuned. This story is far from over. China's divestment from U.S. Treasury bonds is a developing story with the potential to reshape the global financial system. It is a story that highlights the growing rivalry between the United States and China, and the challenges of managing a complex and interconnected global economy. As China continues to assert itself on the world stage, we can expect to see more moves like this, moves that challenge the existing order and create new uncertainties. Stay tuned. Stay